Today we will learn about cohesion. I'm Syifa Aulia Khairunnisa and I will present about this material with my two other friends, Anci Anjani and Siti Ritonga. Before we go to the definition of cohesion, we will first have to understand about text. Text refers to any passage. It can be spoken, written, prose, verse, dialogue, monologue, or etc. It can be any length, short or long, and it should form a unified whole. Text is also is a semantic unit of meaning, not a form. Text did not consist of but realized by sentence. There are three constituents of text: texture, ties, and cohesion. Texture is a feature of text which made it a unified whole. For example, pick up the papers on the floor, put them on a desk. Here, them reference back to the papers to create a cohesion between the two sentences. We make a presupposition about the relationship between them and the papers, but it is not enough only to make a presupposition. Rather, that presupposition must be satisfied to create texture as shown in this example. There are 5 coherent devices to create texture, that is reference to substitution, ellipsis, conjunction, lexical cohesion. Ties. The term refers to a single instance of cohesion. For example, pick up the papers on the floor, put them on the desk. The papers and them show reference as tie. If we take another example, pick up the papers on the floor, put the papers on the desk. There are 2 ties. One is reference, 2 is repetition. Cohesion. The Concise Oxford Dictionary of Linguistics by P.H. Matthews defines cohesion in terms of syntactic unit or sentence. A Dictionary of Linguistics and Phonetics by David Crystal defines cohesion in terms of grammatical unit or words. Mach and R.H. argue that the concept of cohesion is a semantic one. For them, it refers to relation of meaning that exists within text, gives the text texture, defines the text as task. For example, time flies. You can't, they fly too quickly. You can't is ellipsis, they, reference, fly, lexical cohesion. This relation of meaning between elements gives the reader presupposition. Type of cohesion. Language is multiple coding system comprising 3 levels of coding. First, meaning the semantic system. Second, wording the lexicogrammatical system, grammar and vocabulary. Third, sounding or writing the phonological and orthographical system. Cohesive relations fit into the overall pattern of language. Cohesion is expressed partly through vocabulary and partly through grammar. Grammatical cohesion, there are reference, substitution, and ellipsis. Lexical cohesion, the distinction between grammatical and lexical cohesion is a matter of degree. Conjunction is the borderline, mainly grammatical, but the lexical component, so we cannot clearly distinguish between the 2 types. MAHKRH suggested not to go into the depths of these overlapping areas. Halliday has described 3 major function semantic components. First, the ideational, second, the interpersonal, third, the textual. Here we can see ideational is experiential and logical. In experiential, cause is transitivity, logical, practice and hypothetic relation. In interpersonal, clause is mood or modality. In textual, there are three. By rank, there are two. Structural, which divided into two, by rank and cross rank, and non-structural. By rank, structural by rank is clause, theme, cross rank information, unit information, and cohesion is reference substitution. Cohesion is a part of text-forming component in the linguistic system. It links together the elements that are structurally unrelated through the dependence of one on the other for its interpretation. Without cohesion, the semantic system cannot be effectively activated at all. Cohesive device, there are reference, substitution, ellipsis, conjunction, lexical cohesion. Reference. There are certain items in any language which cannot be interpreted semantically in their own right, rather they make reference to something else within the text for their interpretation. Here is the example of reference. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester in a shower of rain. He stepped in a puddle right up to his middle and never went there again. Reference can be subcategorized as follows: exapora or situational reference. For example, for he's a jolly good fellow and so say I love us. Here, text is not indicating who he is. He can be recognized by the situation in which expression is used. They are not source of cohesion because their presupposition cannot be resolved within the text. Rather, their presupposition is found outside the text. Endophora. Reference within a text. This reference can be of two types: anaphora, reference back; cataphora, reference forward. For example, there are a conversation between child and their parents. The child sighed, "Why does that one come out?" The parent answered, "That what?" The child answered again, "That one." The parent, "That one what?" Children, "That lever there that you push to let the water out." That one refers to that lever. It is a cataphoric reference. That lever refers to that one, which is anaphoric reference.
Hello, my name is Anci Anjani. I will explain about nominal group. Nominal group is the logical structure of the nominal group or noun phrase is that it consists of head with optional modifier. The modifying elements include some which precede the head and some which follow it. They can be referred as pre-modifier and post-modifier respectively. For example, the two high stone wall along the roadside. Wall as head, the two high stone as pre-modifier, and along the roadside as post-modifier. There are three types of reference. First is personal reference, two is demonstrative reference, three is comparative reference. First is personal reference. It is a reference by means of function into a speech situation through the category of the person in the form of personal pronouns. The category of persons include the three classes of persons. For the table of personal reference, is first semantic category is two, existential and possessive. For grammatical function is head and modifier, noun and pronoun and determined. From the class, I, me. For the possessive is mine, yours, ours, or my, or yours, our. Demonstrative reference, it is essentially a form of verbal pointing. The speaker identifies or points both the different by locating in on scale of proximity. The system of demonstrative pronoun is given in the following table. For semantic category is two, first selective and non-selective. From grammatical function is modifier, adjunction, modifier, and determiner, adverb and determiner. From the class Is this, or that and those, here or now, and there and then, and to. From the comparative reference is two types of comparison are given. First is general comparison, second is particular comparison. General comparison is a thing that compare show likeness or unlikeness without considering any particular property. Likeness or unlikeness is referential property as something is can be like something else. For the example, it is the same cat as the one we saw yesterday, and it's a different cat from the one we saw yesterday. And for particular comparison is the comparison is made on the scale of quantity or quality. It is a matter of degree compare things on the scale. In other words, we can say it expresses the comparability between things. For the example is take some more tea and we are demanding higher living standard. And the next topic is substitution. Substitution is replacement of one linguistic item by another. Ellipsis is also a kind of substitution where one linguistic item is replaced by nothing or zero. Therefore, it is an omission of an item. When we talk about replacement of one item by another, we mean replacement of word or phrase with another word or phrase. We can say substitution is a relation on lexicogrammatically level. It is used to avoid repetition of a particular item. But while location cohesion through substitution semantic is involved. There are three types of substitution. First is nominal substitution, second is verbal substitution, and third is clausal substitution. For nominal substitution, there are three nominal substitutes: one, once, and some. The nominal substitute one or once. The substitute one or once always function as head of a nominal group and can substitute only for an item which is itself had a nominal group. For example, I have heard some strange stories in my time, but this one was perhaps the strangest one of all. And the nominal substitute same is typically accompanied by do, pray, suppose, an entire nominal group. For example, I will have two poached eggs on toast, please. And another say, I will have the same. And the same can have following expression as say the same, do the same, or be the same.
Verbal substitution. The verbal substitution is do. This operates as head of a verbal group. Lexical verb is replaced by do and its position is on the final in the group. Example from Aulia. The word did not come, the same as the day used to do. It can also substitute for a verb plus certain other element in the clause. Example, I don't know the meaning of half those language words, and what's more, I don't believe you do either. Note the word do other than a substitute. Lexical verb do, he is doing. General verb do, they did a dance. Proverb do action, haven't even. Clausal substitution. Here presuppose is not an element within the clause but an entries clause. So and not are clause substitutes. Example, is there going to be an earthquake? It says so. Types of clause substitution. There are three types of clause substitution. Substitution of report clause, substitution of conditional clause, substitution of modalization clause. Substitution of report clause. The report
clause that is substituted by so or not is always declarative, whatever the mood of the presuppose clause is, whether interrogative or imperative. Example: has everyone gone home? I hope not. I didn't think so. I hope not that everyone has gone home. Is this mango ribs? It seems so. Substitution of conditional clause. Conditional clauses are also substituted by so and not, especially following if, or assuming so or suppose so etc. Example: everyone seems to think he is quality. If so, no double he'll over to resign. We should recording the place when we come to it. Yes, but substitution not then. What do we do? Substitution of modalizing clause. So and not also. Occur as substitution for clause and expansion modality. Example: may I give you a slice? She said. Stylish, not, the Red Queen said.